1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh,
left-footed, right-footed, etc. Or maybe they just say, look, here's the goal, get the ball in the goal. It's something as obvious as that sort of thing. So I can't really explain why. I don't really buy the sheer number of statistics now which are thrown at us. I mean, it's quite interesting at the end of a match when they put them on the screen and you see the possession. That's always quite interesting to see the possession details, number of shots, number of corners, number of offsides, and so on. Number of fouls committed, shots on target. And I guess that is all very useful information, but they're the team stats. When you then break that down into the individuals, I don't know, it obviously works because that's why they do it. But it's probably used in a way as a bit of a stick for the coaches to say, look, you only did this last week, you didn't do this. And there's nothing they can do to counteract that. Because I still think in a strange way, you could still have a pretty good game by your presence, by your inspiring your colleagues on the pitch, and actually not do anything dramatic statistics-wise. You see what I mean? Even though probably someone with a good presence would be doing that. But someone who's very busy around the pitch and that doing a lot of stuff is almost bound to make more errors. A few more passes will go astray than someone who's not doing quite so much. So that's what I'm saying, really. I don't think stats tell the full story of somebody's performance. In the case of Kobbi Mainoo, you can't argue with those stats because they're kind of at the extreme end of good. So, but I think that reflected what I saw of that game. It reflected his excellent performance. But all I'm saying is sometimes the stats don't necessarily reflect something of a particular player. But it's the way the game has gone. They love their iPads. They have them by the manager as well, so they can see the reruns of a thing like we see on television. So it's the way the game has gone. I suppose what it is, with Premier League football, as with tennis players or other sports, they're always looking for that 1% that can differentiate their team from the other team. Because let's face it, most teams in the Premier League, even top and bottom, they sort of cancel each other out because they're all pretty good footballers. I mean, they wouldn't be in the Premier League otherwise. So then you've got to start thinking, how can we make a difference? How can we get our players a bit fitter? So they want more and more information, more stats. But on the other hand, you could say if you overload your team as a coach or the manager before they go out, you overload them with statistics and what they've got to do and who they should avoid doing. You can actually end up just confusing people. And maybe there's a middle road. Obviously give them tell them about the weakness of one of the opposition's players or whatever, of course, but don't overload them. When they're coming on, glad to get a game with 20 minutes to go, they just want to get out on that pitch and do what they do best. That's trying to win the game with their team. And most of these, you see managers on the side, and Oliver Glasner's one, and many of them are. David Moyes, probably most of them are. Arteta is another one. They're constantly shouting at the players and pointing their arms, do this and that. And you think, actually, sometimes the players observe it. Sometimes I know they deliberately don't look at the manager when he's waving his arms about. Because at the end of the day, the players on the pitch will be experienced enough to know where they should be standing, what they should do. Now, that's not to say they always do it right. It isn't. But it's the easiest thing in the world with the pundits, who are generally pretty good, on Match of the Day or whatever. They'll say, he should have done that, the back line should have done that. And it gets too pernickety. I mean, it's another subject we could talk about at some point, and that is...
say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
Some point, and that is, do you prefer, say, Match of the Day? Would you prefer it if it was just the matches with a commentator and a co-commentator perhaps, but no pundits. So we don't want to be told necessarily everything we've just seen. Okay, they will explain more about the intricacies of the game than the public generally would know. But yeah, do we really want the amount of analysis of a game we've just watched? I don't know. It's an interesting one. If there was a poll on that, what would come out? But yeah, because I think there's a hell of a lot of tactics which I think only serve, in some cases anyway, to confuse. So much better. I think managers in the past, I can't think of the names of some, but they would say, I just said to the team, go out and enjoy yourselves, go out and win. And when you free up players to play their instinctive game, it can make a positive difference. But nowadays, it's like every part of life, isn't it? Everything is so over-regulated that the players, they have to behave in a certain way, and if they don't, they'll be out of the team. So it's an interesting one. But it's that 1% they look for, understandably, and I guess they find that through the stats that get provided for them.
Well done. I really love that, because it's looking at it a different way, isn't it? Whether, yeah. But just to say, on Match of the Day on the BBC iPlayer, you can get the different versions of every game without, I don't know if you,
I know that. Yeah, you can.
So that is available. Yeah, right. Okay, so this next one, Benfica is playing Real Madrid tonight.
Benfica.
Yeah, Benfica. Yeah, sorry, Benfica. Yeah, they're playing Real Madrid tonight. I remember the incident with Vinicius Junior and that player. I can't remember his name now, Bettini or something. But anyway, now this is interesting. It's called the Benfica curse.
Benfica curse. Yeah.
The Benfica curse. Right. It says in 1962, manager Bela Gottman left Benfica after a pay dispute. He declared, not in 100 years from now will Benfica ever be European champion. Since that day, Benfica has played in 8 European finals. They've lost every single one.
Really? So he was right then so far.
Well, what do you make of that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't really know enough about the Benfica team per se to really comment. It's an interesting prediction.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.